Good day and welcome to another edition of 0 to Hero in Python programming. I remain your host Abbas Olaya, and today we'll just wrap up the advanced graphical user interface we're doing, then touch some things on what's the essence of a user interface that does not do anything. So I will touch some things on how to actually connect normal Python functions to your user interface so that when you do something it responds, like your code actually works and shows whatever is doing on the user interface. That's actually the essence of building a UI in the first place. So basically what we're doing in the last tutorial was we're trying to build something like this. We're trying to build this. We've gotten to the point, we've gotten to this point, so it just remains the OK button and the cancel button here, and that's the end actually. So we just need to finish that now, and that's basically what I'll be touching in this tutorial. So basically, this was the code that produced that. So it produced this, and if you don't understand how we got to this point, just check the last tutorial. So today I'll just move on and explain what this code here is doing. So basically, to add the OK button and the cancel button, so here is how I added them. So this is basically what I want to explain now. So OK button, tkinter button, then text. Okay, that's what the button will show. Then cancel button, tkinter text for that is cancel. So just basically the button, this thing. So you know what the button tag does. So tkinter button and the likes like that. Then OK button grid. So we give it the position it will be. That will be on row 4:3. So row 4, that's 1, 2, 3, 4:3. That's basically what is here. That's row 1, row 2. What's wrong? Row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. That's OK button. Then mind you, we said east, so it will move to the east side. If you notice the cancel button, we said west, so it will move to the west side of things. So row 4:3. Sorry, I was counting colon instead of row, so that's, you understand what I mean. So basically they are in the same row, they are in the same row as in here. They are in the same row as in here. That's this row 4. Then :3, that's what I was counting that time was actually colon. Remember, we count from 0 in Python. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So this 3 for Python, for OK, then this 4 for the cancel button. So that's basically that. So when we run this now, it gives us our OK button, but it does not do anything here. So, but the cancel button is actually canceling out. Why is that? So text command main window. I've actually added the destroy command here. If you notice, the OK button was not doing anything. Let me run it again. The OK button was not doing a thing. If you click it, same thing as the other button we designed in the past. But when we press the cancel button, it actually cancels. So that's that on that. I wrote a comment somewhere in this code. I guess it's okay. That was probably in my head or something. But this destroy the command here, so we are calling destroy on main window. Remember, mind you, we've called the main window here when we initialized our user interface. That's main window tkinter.tk. So that's how we got the main window. Then destroy is a function in the tk library. So I mean, the tk, would I call that a class? So destroy is a function in the tk class. So what it basically does is it closes your user interface. So that's basically that. So if I press cancel again, it will automatically close it up. So here is another, I've forgotten what I actually asked this to do. Okay, I wanted to use this to explain the thing of wait. Wait is actually, wait is not like the weight it will be giving that particular thing at that moment in time. Wait is more of you, how do I put it now? You telling it how it will respond when it comes to, when it shrunk down or when it expanded. For example, let me run this command again so you can see what I mean. If I expand this now, if I expand this, you can see, if you notice anything, it will expand. Each of those boxes will expand based on the weight we've assigned to them. So I don't want to dwell too much on this, but you can always change the weight here. You can always change the weight. If you notice, this is not the weight I actually used in the beginning. This is the weight I used in the beginning. Okay, where is it? Okay, this is the weight I used in the beginning. So this was me experimenting with weight before coming ahead to record this video. So you can experiment with the weights and see how it will actually respond to you. So it will affect how it will, the responsiveness basically. If you've done UI in the past, probably you've done UI for web development or the likes like that, it will determine how it will shrink, or I mean the weight each of the columns will take. But when you expand, actually it doesn't really affect anything. But when you shrink down, it will affect something. It will affect the way it will respond. For example, if I bring it down now, if you notice the OK button and the cancel button are shrinking down faster than the others, and that's because of what? The weight we've assigned to them. If you check the weight, okay, let me bring back the weight here. Okay, let's now come back here. If you check the weight for column, that's column 4, that's 1600, 100. If I change everything to 1, you see what happens. Let me change. Wait, yeah, let me change everything to 1, so you see what happens. But I don't want to really experiment here, so we don't dwell too much, because explaining weights can take us some time, and I believe in you actually learning things yourself rather than me just spoon feeding you. So if I shrink, if you notice, changing the weight, the column weight to 111 does not change anything. It still looks exactly the way it should look. But if, by the time you start shrinking down, you can see, for example, when we're shrinking down the other time, the OK button didn't close this fast, but you can see everything is actually shrinking down in a way we do not expect. You can't see the OK button again. This one has shrunk down. This one is taking this particular weight and the likes like that. But if you now change it back to the initial weight I set, you notice some changes when I'm shrinking down. You notice some changes when I'm shrinking down. So you can experiment with that and see how it works out for you. Okay, straight to actually, okay, the essence of we actually creating a graphical user interface is for us to be able to do what? For us to be able to use it for something else. Probably you want to draw. For example, the next project we are laying our hands upon is creating this, a photo editor using Python, tkinter, and OpenCV. So this tutorial should be should be live probably tomorrow. Yes, it should be live tomorrow. That's 24 hours after this tutorial is live. So for us to actually be able to edit graphics, then it means we will need to do what? We need to be able to call some functions, call some classes for them to do something actually on our screen, for them to respond to things. So basically what I want to do here is show you how this my func, which is going to print this button was clicked, will be able to, whenever you click this button here, so it will be able to show on your screen, and you'll be able to click it and it will actually reply. For example, you can see I've tested it and it actually responded to me. So basically I imported tkinter, from tkinter I imported ttk and tk. So if you notice, the last time we did this, we said tk, I said tkinter.tk open bracket close bracket as main loop, main window equals tkinter.tk open bracket close bracket. So that's we calling tk from tkinter library. But here I'm just calling tk string because I've imported tk from the tkinter library. So you can import this way. That was what I was explaining when we started this tutorial. Like when you are going to use something more often than not, you can easily import the existing libraries in that library instead of you actually having to write the long line of code. Then the ttk.label is something like this tkinter.button here. So it's basically doing almost same. You can see I use ttk.button here and I use tkinter.button here. So that you won't get confused. So basically what we are doing is using function in graphical user interface. So you guys already understand how we use label. The only thing strange here is this ttk, which is all exactly the same thing as our tkinter. It's just for us to be able to use something shorter and the likes like that. All programmers should be lazy. In case you don't know, I'm telling you to do, you have to be lazy. So the next thing again is, okay, we packed it. Now I explained the grid and the pack method. Okay, there is one other geometry method that I didn't explain. I'll find time to explain it in the future, but I use grid method. I'm used to grid method, and before you learn grid method, you learn pack method. That's why it was easy for me to explain these two. But the last one, I'll probably explain in future. So without further ado, what we used to call a function is command. So what command are we passing in here? So the command is my function. And mind you, don't put the open bracket and close bracket of a function in front of it, because when you do that, it means you've automatically called the function already. I don't know if you get me. If I do that here now, if I run this, you can see it automatically calls the button was clicked immediately. And when I'm clicking it, it's not responding again. But if I remove this open bracket, close bracket here, and I run the same code, you can see it's not calling the function immediately. But whenever I now click on it, it's actually calling it. So whenever I click on it, it's printing this button was clicked. So that's basically that. So basically the way you call a function within a button or within tkinter is just to add the command equals the function name command, and you will be able to use whatever you've written in your function in that particular user interface. So let me run it again so you can see. So running this again, this button was clicked, this button was clicked, this button was clicked. Whichever number of times you click it, it will keep on working like that. So thank you, and from next tutorial we'll move to something else apart from graphical user interface. I remain your host Abasola here, and in case you've not subscribed, click the subscribe button and notification bell so you can receive notifications on all our tutorials. And in case you are interested in data science, data analysis and the likes, I will start posting tutorials on that this month. So see you soon. Bye bye.